Hey guys, Adam here with AmericanMuscle.com. Today we're taking a look at, listening to, and installing the Borla Stinger S-Type axle-back exhaust fitting all 2011 and 2012 Mustang GTs and Boss 302s. Now, if you're the owner of that late S197, you might be looking to beef up your sound without going with a full catback system. This axle-back here, as you heard from our sound clips, is going to get 3 out of 5 on our loudness meter. Beefs up that volume, gives you a nice aggressive muscle car growl without being too overwhelming. There's little to absolutely no drone inside the cab, which is great for the guys out there running a daily driver or a weekend warrior looking to, listen to some music, have a conversation with your passenger, or take the family for a cruise in your Mustang. This way, you won't have to worry about all that road noise at highway speeds. Now, this is one of my favorite mufflers, and we'll take a closer look at it sitting side by side with the factory one. We'll talk about the materials in detail later on, but I just wanted to give you a heads up. This is a great sound for the guys looking to get a nice step up over stock without going with something that's way overwhelming or way over the top with volume and drone. This one comes in right around the $750 mark, which is a really good price, especially if you're not looking to spend $1,000 or so on a catback. You still get the sound upgrade, you still get a little bump in power in the single-digit horsepower and torque range, you get a better exhaust flow with mandrel bend tubing, dual 4.5-inch polished stainless steel tips for the axle backs. Looks really good coming out the rear end, all for an affordable price tag. Now, as far as the installation, expect 1 out of 3 wrenches on our difficulty meter. You can tackle this with simple hand tools, although I would recommend picking up a hanger removal tool from your local auto parts store if you don't already have one. Expect 1 to 2 hours in the shop or garage at home. You can tackle this one in the driveway with the jack and jack stands. It just might take you a little bit longer since you're on the floor. Now, without further ado, I want to show you guys how this gets installed, so let's get to it. Tools needed for this install are PB Blaster or WD-40, power tool or ratchet, hanger removal tool, 13mm socket. First things first, we have to kick off the uninstall by removing our factory axle back. Now, there's 2 things that are going to be your friend throughout this uninstall and the install, quite frankly. The hanger removal tool is something, if you don't have, you should pick up from your local auto parts store. You can rent it from a Pep Boys or an AutoZone or so on and so forth, whatever's in your area. Then, of course, a ratchet and a 13mm socket. That's going to be for the clamps holding the axle back to the over-axle pipes. This obviously to pop your hangers out of the isolators. So the first thing I'm going to do, loosen up those clamps with my 13mm socket, then pop them out of their hangers. All right, next up, we're going to take our hanger removal tool, put it up here by the hanger next to the tip. And you'll see this little tube side is going to press up against the end of the hanger, whereas the fork is going to go through the inside. With that, we'll clamp down and push it through. All right, next step here with our front hanger removed. These 2 are still in their isolators. Now, this is one connected bracket, so once this piece drops down, you should be able to just push back on it, slip them out of place there, and drop the whole axle back down. All right, now we can do the same thing for the opposite side. I would definitely recommend using PB Blaster or WD-40 and squirting them right into where the hanger meets the isolator, just to get the rubber lubed up a little bit to make it easier to slip in and out. All right, again, with the front hanger out of place, that drops down to give you access to the 2 in the back here. Again, we can just push back, release them from the isolators, and pull it down. All right, guys, we got our factory muffler off our 11 GT and on the ground here, sitting next to our Borla Stinger S-Type. Now, you can see clear differences between the 2 as far as finish, the materials, and of course, the tips. Now, the first thing I want to point out is the size difference. Now, it's not a huge difference in size, but you can see the Stinger S-Type is a bit smaller than your factory muffler. Now, even though the muffler is a bit smaller, the volume is definitely going to be a bit larger. Now, as you heard from our sound clips, the 3 out of 5 on our loudness meter, the Stinger S-Type from Borla is one of my personal favorite mufflers. It's my favorite sound for the GT. It's not too overwhelming, but it still gives you that aggressive aftermarket growl. As far as the baffling inside, you get the more volume, but you're not really getting a whole lot of drone inside the car, all packed into this tiny S-Type muffler. Now, as far as the tips, you're getting a 4.5-inch stainless steel 304 polished tip, as opposed to the smaller, around 3-inch diameter tip from the factory. That's a huge upgrade stylistically out the rear end. It looks more aggressive, it's a lot nicer to look at, and it's got that Borla name imprinted on the materials. Now, last but not least, I want to point out the hanger locations are all staying the same, making this a direct bolt-on install. They'll reuse that factory clamp, which gets you a perfect tight seal for no air leaks going over the over-axle pipes. Now, without further ado, I want to get this installed, so let's get to it. All right, now it's time to tackle our install. So I'm starting over here on our passenger side. The first thing we want to do, of course, is lubricate those hanger isolators one more time with your PB Blaster or WD-40. I'm going to slide the hangers through the isolators in the back, which takes a little finesse. You'll have to get the right angle to slide them both in. If you're having trouble, you could always remove the bracket holding these isolators in place, attach them to the hangers, and then put it back up and bolt it up to your frame. I'm going to try to slide these through without doing that, but if we have a little bit of trouble, that might be the route we take. So first off, slide these through the isolators, then we'll finish off by sliding them through the front isolator, then we'll bolt it down with the clamp. Let's do one at a time here. We'll do the inside one first. We've got that in place. Slide it back, get that second one in place. We got these both in place, and now we'll lift this one up to line up with our front isolator by the tip. We got that in place. Now at this point, we can center our tip here, put the clamp over top of where we need it to be, and tighten them down. All right, we're gonna lift this up, slide our clamp in place. From here, we can slide our exhaust back and forth the way we need to. Line these two up, and we'll bolt it down. All right, once you have these two lined up, take your power tool or your ratchet, tighten things down. All right, guys, now we can do the same thing for the driver's side. That's going to wrap up my review, sound clip, and install of the Borla Stinger S-Type Axleback exhaust for your 1112 GT or Boss 302. Now, if you're the owner of that S197 and you're not looking to spend the money on a full catback, but you want that sound upgrade to really beef up the sound of your V8, then the Stinger S-Type is one of my personal favorites, and I definitely recommend it for your own Mustang. You can pick yours up right here at AmericanMuscle.com.